The Mini Cooper is one of the most iconic and instantly recognizable cars in automotive history, a name that has become synonymous with style, agility, and a fun driving experience. When you see a Mini Cooper on the road, there is no mistaking it for anything else. Its compact size, charming design, and distinctive personality set it apart from the rest of the traffic. The story of the Mini Cooper begins in the late 1950s when the British Motor Corporation wanted to create a small, affordable, and efficient car that could cope with the fuel shortages and urban driving needs of the time. Designed by Sir Alec Issigonis, the original Mini was introduced in 1959, and it revolutionized car design by placing the wheels at the extreme corners of the body and the engine transversely at the front, creating more cabin space than anyone thought possible for a car of such a small footprint. This ingenious layout maximized interior room for passengers and luggage while keeping the car incredibly compact, making it perfect for the narrow streets of European cities. The Mini's design was not only practical but also stylish in a quirky, endearing way. Its low stance, upright windshield, and friendly round headlights gave it a cheerful face, and its nimble handling made it a favorite among young drivers and city dwellers. But the real magic happened when racing legend John Cooper, a friend of Issigonis and a builder of Formula One cars, saw the Mini's potential as a performance machine. Cooper worked with the factory to create a tuned version of the car, and in 1961, the Mini Cooper was born. With more power, better brakes, and improved handling, the Mini Cooper became a giant killer on the racetrack, famously winning the Monte Carlo Rally multiple times in the 1960s and embarrassing much larger and more powerful cars in the process. These victories cemented its reputation not only as a cute little city car but also as a serious driver's machine. Over the decades, the Mini became a cultural icon, starring in movies like The Italian Job, and being embraced by celebrities, musicians, and fashion icons. It symbolized a youthful, rebellious spirit, particularly in the swinging 60s in Britain. Despite its small size, it had a big personality, and this is something that has carried through every generation of the car. When BMW took over the Mini brand in the 1990s, they faced the challenge of reinventing it for a new era while keeping the essence that made it special. In 2001, the modern Mini Cooper was launched, and it managed to capture the charm of the original while adding modern conveniences, safety features, and performance capabilities. The retro-inspired styling paid homage to the classic design, with familiar cues like the floating roof, wide stance, and round headlights, but the car was larger, more comfortable, and more refined. The modern Mini Cooper lineup quickly expanded to include different body styles, including the 3-door hatch, 5-door hatch, convertible, clubman, and countryman. Each variant brought a slightly different character to the table, but all retained that signature Mini feeling, go-kart-like handling, responsive steering, and an emphasis on fun behind the wheel. The driving experience of a Mini Cooper is something that owners and fans often describe with a smile. The steering is quick and precise, the suspension setup is tuned to keep the car flat and composed through corners, and the compact size means you can dart through traffic or take tight turns with ease. This makes the Mini not just a car but an experience, one that encourages drivers to take the long way home. Under the hood, Minis have offered a range of engines over the years, from small, efficient 3-cylinders to punchy turbocharged 4-cylinders in the Cooper S models, and even higher performance versions tuned by John Cooper Works. The JCW models, in particular, turn up the excitement with more horsepower, sportier suspension, and a more aggressive look, turning the already lively Mini into a true hot hatch capable of thrilling even seasoned driving enthusiasts. Yet, even the base models manage to feel engaging, proving that you don't need massive horsepower to have fun if the chassis and steering are dialed in perfectly. Inside, the Mini Cooper continues its tradition of individuality and style. The cabin is filled with playful design touches, from the large central display that recalls the classic Mini's speedometer placement to the toggle switches on the dashboard and roof console. Materials and finishes are generally of high quality, and there are extensive customization options that let buyers make their Mini truly their own, from exterior paint colors and contrasting roofs to interior trims, ambient lighting, and unique seat patterns. Technology has evolved significantly as well, with modern Minis offering advanced infotainment systems, smartphone integration, driver assistance features, and digital displays, blending the retro charm with modern-day usability. One of the keys to the Mini Cooper's enduring appeal is its ability to balance nostalgia with innovation. While it draws heavily on its heritage in terms of design and brand personality, it also embraces new technologies, efficient powertrains, and safety features to remain relevant in today's competitive small car market. In recent years, Mini has also moved into the electric era with the Mini Electric, also known as the Cooper SE, which retains the same fun-to-drive qualities as its petrol siblings but delivers them with instant torque, zero emissions, and a distinctive electric twist. This shows that Mini is looking ahead, ensuring that its cars continue to fit into the evolving needs of drivers without losing the core character that has defined the brand for more than 6 decades. The community around the Mini Cooper is another vital part of its identity. Mini owners tend to be passionate about their cars, and gatherings, rallies, and enthusiast clubs are common worldwide. This sense of belonging and shared enthusiasm adds to the ownership experience, making it about more than just the car itself. Whether you're in a classic Mini from the 1960s or the latest JCW model, there's an unspoken bond among Mini drivers, a nod, a wave, or a smile when you pass another one on the road. When it comes to practicality, the Mini Cooper might surprise people who judge it solely by its size. While it's certainly more compact than many cars, clever design and efficient use of space mean it offers reasonable room for passengers and luggage, especially in the 5-door and Clubman models. The driving position is comfortable, visibility is good, and parking is a breeze thanks to its small footprint. Fuel economy is another plus, with smaller engines delivering excellent mileage, and even the performance-oriented models remaining relatively efficient compared to other sporty cars. Of course, no car is perfect, and the Mini Cooper has its quirks. The ride can be on the firm side, especially with larger wheels or in sportier trims, and the rear seats in the 3-door model are best suited for shorter trips or smaller passengers. Some people might also find the infotainment controls a bit unconventional at first. However, for many Mini fans, these quirks are part of the charm, contributing to the car's unique character rather than detracting from it. Over its long history, the Mini Cooper has proven that a small car can make a big impact. It has gone from being a solution to a fuel crisis to a motorsport champion, from a symbol of 1960s cool to a modern lifestyle choice. It has adapted to changing times without losing sight of its roots, and that's something few cars can claim. Whether you love it for its styling, its heritage, its handling, or simply the way it makes you feel behind the wheel, the Mini Cooper is more than just transportation, it's a statement, a personality, and a piece of automotive history that continues to capture hearts around the world. From the winding mountain passes where it dances effortlessly through hairpin turns to the bustling city streets where it slips into parking spaces others can only dream of, the Mini Cooper thrives in environments where agility and personality matter most. It invites you to engage with the drive, to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. And in an age when so many cars feel similar, the Mini stands out as something refreshingly different, a reminder that small can be mighty, and that driving can still be fun in its purest form. Even as the industry heads towards electrification and autonomous driving, the Mini Cooper's essence is unlikely to fade. Future generations may look different, may have new forms of power under the hood, and may offer even more connectivity and driver aids, but the DNA, that blend of charm, agility, and individuality, will remain. It's a car that refuses to blend into the background, a car that makes a statement without shouting, and a car that rewards those who appreciate the art of driving. In a world of ever-growing vehicles, the Mini Cooper's compact size becomes a badge of honor, proof that you don't need to be big to be bold. The Mini Cooper's journey from a humble, practical city car to a global icon is a testament to the power of good design, innovative thinking, and a little bit of cheeky personality. It's a story that continues to unfold with each new model, each new driver, and each new adventure. And whether you see it parked on a quiet street, zipping through traffic, or tearing up a racetrack, one thing is certain, the Mini Cooper will always put a smile on your face. Got it? I'll continue and expand the Mini Cooper speech into a much longer, flowing form so we build toward the full 10,000 words. I'll pick up from the origins and take you deeper into the story, blending history, design, performance, racing, and culture into one seamless narrative. The roots of the Mini Cooper story go back to a time when the world was facing both economic and cultural change. In the late 1950s, Britain, like many countries, was dealing with the after-effects of the Suez Crisis, which had caused fuel shortages and made efficiency a priority for the everyday driver. The British Motor Corporation tasked Sir Alec Issigonis, already known for his engineering brilliance, with creating a small, economical car that could carry 4 adults and their luggage while being affordable to buy and cheap to run. What Issigonis came up with was nothing short of revolutionary. His design used a transverse-mounted engine driving the front wheels, a layout that was rare at the time but is now the standard for most small cars. By pushing the wheels to the far corners of the body and keeping overhangs minimal, he maximized interior space while keeping the car's overall length under 10 feet. This meant the Mini was tiny on the outside but surprisingly roomy inside, a packaging masterstroke that would define the car's identity for decades. The original Mini, launched in 1959 under the Austin and Morris brands, wasn't created as a performance car. It was meant to be practical, affordable, and capable of getting people from point A to point B with minimal fuss. But its low center of gravity, lightweight, and responsive steering caught the attention of racers almost immediately. John Cooper, a friend of Issigonis and the head of the Cooper Car Company, saw that the Mini's layout could be transformed into something far more exciting. Cooper had already achieved success in Formula One and knew how to make a chassis come alive. He convinced BMC to produce a sportier version of the Mini, and in 1961, the first Mini Cooper was born. It featured a tuned-up engine, stronger brakes, and close-ratio gearboxes, all wrapped in the same charming body. This was the moment when the Mini went from being a clever little city car to a motorsport sensation. The Mini Cooper's racing record speaks for itself. In the 1960s, it dominated rallying, most famously winning the Monte Carlo Rally in 1964, 1965, and 1967. It even won in 1966, but the victory was controversially stripped due to a headlight rule infraction, something that many fans still debate today. The sight of a small, plucky Mini Cooper charging through snow-covered alpine roads and beating much larger, more powerful cars became a defining image of the decade. These victories weren't just about speed. They were about agility, handling, and the Mini's ability to exploit tight, twisty roads where its size was an advantage rather than a limitation. In many ways, this underdog spirit became the essence of the Mini Cooper's personality, a car that punched well above its weight and won hearts along the way. As the years rolled on, the Mini became a cultural icon. In the swinging 60s, it was embraced by musicians like the Beatles, actors, models, and fashion icons. It appeared in films, most famously in the 1969 British caper movie, The Italian Job, where a trio of Minis performed one of the most memorable car chase sequences ever filmed, racing through tunnels, stairs, and rooftops. That film didn't just entertain, it cemented the Mini Cooper as a symbol of British cool and ingenuity. Even today, many enthusiasts associate the Mini with that kind of cheeky, daring personality. Despite its popularity, the original Mini soldiered on for decades with relatively few changes to its basic design. This was part of its charm, but by the 1990s, the world had changed. Safety standards were stricter, customer expectations were higher, and the car industry was moving on. The Rover Group, which owned Mini at the time, was acquired by BMW, and the German automaker saw an opportunity to reinvent the Mini for a new century. The challenge was enormous: how to modernize the car while keeping its distinctive look, its playful character, and its go-kart driving feel. In 2001, BMW unveiled the new Mini Cooper. It was bigger, heavier, and far more refined than the original, but it carried over key design cues: the floating roof, the round headlights, the wide stance, and the upright windscreen. Underneath, it was a thoroughly modern small car, with improved safety features, air conditioning, and a much more comfortable interior. Some purists were skeptical at first, but the new Mini quickly won over a new generation of drivers. The handling was sharp, the styling was unmistakable, and it still had that playful, cheeky edge. It was no longer just a small car for city driving, it was a lifestyle statement. The first generation of the modern Mini Cooper, known as the R50 for the standard model and R53 for the Cooper S, came with a range of engines, including a supercharged 1.6-liter in the S that delivered thrilling performance for a car of its size. The go-kart feel was alive and well, with responsive steering and a chassis that encouraged spirited driving. BMW also understood the importance of customization. Owners could choose from a dizzying array of paint colors, roof designs, stripes, wheels, and interior trims, making no two Minis exactly alike. This personalization became a huge part of the brand's appeal. Thank you.